Missing this video could mean losing the opportunity to protect your heart, lessen your risk of long-term issues, and make it simpler to control your blood sugar if you have diabetes. The majority of advice just restates the fundamentals. Eat fiber and stay away from sweets, but this goes deeper. Discover 3 scientifically proven foods that function like daily medicine and learn how to use them to their fullest potential. By the end, you'll know easy, tasty strategies to keep your blood sugar stable and safeguard your health for years to come. This is not a guess. It is the next move you will take. Let's start with the first food, which is leafy greens. Have you ever thought, that's rabbit food, not a meal, when you saw a dish of leafy greens? Many diabetics view greens as a garnish rather than the main attraction on their dish. Unbeknownst to you, that error silently costs you long-term blood sugar stability, health, and energy. One of the foods with the most nutrients and the fewest carbohydrates on the planet is leafy greens. They hardly affect your blood sugar levels while protecting almost every aspect of your body. One noteworthy characteristic unites beet greens, Swiss chard, arugula, collard greens, spinach, and kale. Even with large servings, you can consume less than 5 grams of net carbohydrates per cup. This implies that you can eat more without worrying about experiencing an unexpected surge in blood sugar. But low carb is just one of many advantages. They specifically address the harm that diabetes can inflict. Magnesium, which is abundant in them, aids in the better utilization of insulin by your cells. They contain a lot of potassium, which helps control blood pressure and balance sodium. Diabetes frequently coexists with high blood pressure, which subtly raises the risk of heart attack and stroke. Additionally, leafy greens include vitamin C, which fortifies blood vessel walls and promotes eye wound healing. They supply antioxidants called lutein and zeaxanthin, which guard against macular degeneration and diabetic retinopathy. These substances protect delicate eye tissues from oxidative damage and filter harmful light. Vitamin K, which is necessary for healthy bones and blood coagulation, is also found in greens. Because fractures heal more slowly in people with diabetes, bone protection is more important than most people realize. They are a natural supply of nitrates, which increase blood channel elasticity by converting to nitric oxide. Your muscles, nerves, and organs will receive more oxygen and nutrients if your circulation is improved. Complications including neuropathy and slow-healing foot ulcers may be avoided in this way. Therefore, if this makes sense and you're getting value, share this with someone who thinks beans are boring and leave a 0 in the comments if it's good and a 1 if it's terrible. At their next meal, they might decide to have a different opinion. According to your glucose meter, the fiber in leafy greens stabilizes blood sugar. It slows down how the carbohydrates and starches in the rest of your diet break down. It increases insulin sensitivity and reduces inflammation by feeding good gut bacteria. Over time, these alterations in your microbiome may help you better regulate your blood sugar. For this reason, in addition to being healthful, greens are a key component of diabetic therapy. The way you prepare them affects their nutrition and flavor. Steaming maintains a light texture and protects vitamin C, ideal for quick sides or salads. Vitamins A, E, and K that are soluble in fat are better absorbed when sautéed in olive oil. Garlic may be quickly stir-fried to enhance taste without increasing carbs or calories. To prevent the loss of water-soluble nutrients, use the boiling water in soups. Greens' health advantages can be increased by pairing them with specific foods. For healthy fats that improve the absorption of antioxidants, including slices of avocado. Add chopped nuts or seeds on top for extra fiber, crunch, and protein. Paired with lean protein for a filling low GI dinner, such as salmon, turkey, or grilled chicken. You may have both sweetness and fiber in one glass by even adding spinach to a berry smoothie. These are some useful suggestions that you may implement right now. For antioxidant power, toss kale with lemon juice, olive oil, sliced strawberries, and toasted almonds. Instead of using bread, try collard greens as a wrap for turkey, cucumber, and hummus. For a tangy side, cook Swiss chard with onions, garlic, and a little apple cider vinegar. For a spike-fighting breakfast, blend spinach, frozen blueberries, chia seeds, and almond milk. Toss the leaves with the olive oil and spice before roasting to make kale chips, if you enjoy snacking. You receive a salty, crispy delight without the drama of blood sugar or refined carbohydrates. To add nutrients and a hint of earthiness to lentil soup, add chopped beet greens. For a satisfying meal, combine arugula with quinoa salad, cherry tomatoes, feta, and olive oil. Each of these blood sugar regulating recipes tastes good enough to be made on a weekly basis. It's also important to be aware of certain lesser-known facts concerning leafy greens. Certain foods, such as beet greens and spinach, are high in oxalates, which can hinder the absorption of calcium. Oxalate impact can be lessened by light cooking or by pairing with meals high in vitamin C. Seasonal greens are more nutrient-dense and have a greater flavor. They can last up to a week when stored unwashed in a ventilated bag. More green food consumption is consistently linked to lower HbA1c and less complications from diabetes, according to research. This is due to the fact that greens enhance your metabolic environment in addition to lowering your intake of carbohydrates. They nourish the gut microbes that promote proper glucose regulation, reduce inflammation, and shield blood vessels. Each serving is an investment in your long-term health because of these cumulative effects. It would be like leaving free medicine on your plate if you skipped them. Because they are primarily composed of water and fiber, which aid in weight management, greens are very satisfying. They naturally hydrate you, which improves the efficiency of your kidneys' waste filtering process. Their volume prevents you from feeling hungry or unfulfilled while assisting you in consuming fewer of the higher carb items that trigger spikes. For someone with diabetes, such combination is uncommon and potent. One of the simplest methods to lower blood sugar is to make eating leafy greens a daily habit. They go well with supper sides, lunch salads, breakfast smoothies, and even snacks. They adjust to a variety of cuisines, including Asian, Latin American, and Mediterranean dishes. Without sacrificing their vital advantages, they can be consumed raw, cooked just a little, or combined. You get one step closer to steady, consistent blood sugar control with each plate that contains them. They are more than simply veggies. They are the silent defense mechanism of your body. Every day, they silently guard your kidneys, bones, nerves, heart, and eyes. Without the negative effects of medication, they provide you with the means to combat the issues that you are most afraid of. They accomplish this while enhancing the color, taste, and freshness of your food. Leafy greens are a must for everyone with diabetes. They are edible medications for daily use. Foods come in second. Have you ever done everything correctly yet still experienced an elevated blood sugar level? No matter how cautious you are, it feels unjust, almost like your own body is against you. The speed at which food breaks down is more of an issue for many diabetics than the quantity of food consumed. Certain foods cause harmful blood sugar rises because they release glucose so quickly that insulin cannot keep up. Here's where nuts and seeds can make all the difference, giving you power rather than chaos. Despite their small size, almonds, walnuts, pistachios, and hazelnuts have a significant effect on blood sugar levels. They release energy gradually rather than dumping sugar into your system since they have a low glycemic index. A handful provides fiber, protein, and good fats. The trio that delays the blood's absorption of glucose. There won't be any unexpected crashes or roller coaster readings as a result of this gradual release, and there won't be as many desires for bad, fast eats later. Chia, flax, pumpkin, and sunflower seeds all function similarly, but they offer even more special advantages. Omega-3 fatty acids, a kind of lipid that reduces blood vessel inflammation, are found in these seeds. Inflammation is more than just discomfort for a diabetic. It is quiet harm to your circulation and heart. During digestion, the soluble fiber included in nuts and seeds gels in your stomach. By regulating the rate at which carbs in your bloodstream turn into glucose, that gel functions as a slow filter. They shield you in between meals by doing this, which flattens the peaks on your glucose chart. Because the same fiber supports the good bacteria in your stomach, the advantages are much more profound. By increasing insulin sensitivity, those bacteria help your body use insulin more efficiently and maintain lower blood sugar levels. Nuts, seeds, and protein help maintain muscular mass, which is essential for removing glucose from the blood. Strong muscles absorb sugar like sponges, preventing harmful post-meal euphoria. Maintaining your muscles makes it far easier to control your blood sugar levels each day. Additionally, nuts and seeds provide magnesium, a mineral that many diabetics are unaware they are deficient in. In order for glucose to enter and be used as fuel, magnesium aids in your cell's reaction to insulin. Vitamin E, a fat-soluble antioxidant that protects blood vessels from oxidative stress, is also provided by them. Selenium, another antioxidant that boosts your immune system and lowers dangerous free radicals, is even added by Brazil nuts. Not only do these nutrients give you energy, they actively shield your body from the long-term harm caused by diabetes. The way your body responds to a meal can be totally altered by pairing nuts or seeds with foods high in carbohydrates. By forcing slower digestion, the lipids, protein, and fiber prevent the glucose rush before it even begins. Incorporate almonds into your porridge. Add walnuts and berries to a smoothie or mix chia seeds into yogurt. These are more than just delicious concepts. These are tried and true strategies for reducing blood sugar levels after meals. Over term, this stability guards against the negative effects of excessive blood sugar on your heart, kidneys, eyes, and nerves. Because of its high calorie content, some people are afraid of nuts because they believe they may eventually lead to weight gain. In actuality, nuts almost never result in weight gain when consumed in favor of processed food. They reduce the likelihood of overeating by triggering fullness signals with their fat, protein, and fiber. Portion control is crucial, and 2 teaspoons of seeds or a handful of nuts are the best options. You gain from this without using more energy than your body requires. Select nuts that are raw or dry roasted and free of added sugar or salt for optimal nutrition. Nuts with flavors or honey coating may be more enticing, but they also negate the benefits of blood sugar control. Depending on the variety and individual inclination, seeds can be consumed raw, soaking, or crushed. Since flax seeds' hard shell frequently passes through undigested, it is best to grind them for absorption. Soaking chia seeds produces a pudding-like consistency that is ideal for breakfast or as a snack. Additionally, nuts and seeds improve heart health, which is crucial for diabetics. Their unsaturated fats can raise HDL cholesterol, which is healthy, while lowering LDL cholesterol, which is dangerous. Their anti-inflammatory properties significantly lower the cardiovascular disease risk, which is already elevated in diabetics. Together with regular exercise and a healthy diet, they form a potent heart protection strategy. They're more than just munchies. They are investments in the long-term wellness of the entire body. Frequent consumption of nuts and seeds has been associated with better fasting glucose and a reduced HbA1c. Extreme diets and drastic lifestyle modifications are not necessary to achieve these effects. However, the greatest advantages occur when nuts and seeds are incorporated into a diversified, well-balanced diet. Their impact is increased when combined with vegetables, whole grains, lean meats, and low GI fruits. Each combination results in fewer harmful variations and a more stable blood sugar response. Nuts and seeds can be added to nearly any meal and are convenient to carry and store. They don't require cooking. They are easy to incorporate into daily life and last for weeks. There will be fewer poor decisions if you have a small amount in your kitchen, car, or place of employment. They can give you sustained energy in place of snacks that cause crashes and surges. Focus, attitude, and self-assurance in blood sugar regulation can all be enhanced by that consistent energy. You can avoid harmful fluctuations in blood sugar by incorporating nuts and seeds into your regular routine. They provide you with important nutrients, consistent energy, and a sense of control over your diabetes. They provide constancy and reassurance in a condition that frequently seems unpredictable. They demonstrate that eating the correct foods can be both pleasurable and healthful. They are more than just snacks for a diabetic. They are a subtle yet effective kind of self-care. Third, one of the healthiest foods for diabetes is legumes, such as kidney beans, black beans, chickpeas, lentils, and soybeans. Despite their understated appearance, they are among the most effective blood sugar controlling devices available. Why? Their delayed glucose release is the first clue. The majority of legumes fall between 10 and 40 on the glycemic index. Incredibly low in comparison to potatoes, rice, or bread. Low values indicate a steady rise in blood sugar rather than a sudden jump. However, the mix of protein, resistant starch, and soluble fiber is what really works its magic. In your gut, soluble fiber forms a gel-like substance that slows down digestion, essentially acting as a mild brake on the rise in blood sugar. Bypassing much of the digestive process, resistant starch feeds your gut bacteria, which in turn produce short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, which have been shown in studies to enhance insulin sensitivity, lower inflammation, and even shield the intestinal lining. And we haven't even discussed the protein yet. About 15 to 18 grams of plant-based protein and 15 to 16 grams of fiber are found in 1 cup of cooked lentils. Accordingly, about 1/3 of the carbohydrates in lentils are not even digestible in the conventional sense. It's sluggish nutrition that complements rather than interferes with your metabolism. Because muscle tissue is your largest sink for the disposal of glucose, the protein helps you feel full, avoid overeating later in the day, and maintain your muscles. This is something that most people overlook. Additionally, one of the best dietary sources of magnesium is legumes. One mineral that aids in your cell's reaction to insulin is magnesium. Your body finds it difficult to transfer glucose from the blood into the cells if you don't get enough magnesium. They also include a variety of plant compounds called polyphenols, which function as antioxidants and reduce oxidative stress, which is a contributing factor to diabetes problems, as well as potassium, which helps lower blood pressure. Here's the reality if you're thinking, that sounds fantastic, but beans take forever to cook. Most folks don't realize how easy they are. They cook more faster if you soak them overnight. Soaking also cuts down on substances that upset the stomach. In roughly 25 minutes, you may transform dried chickpeas into soft morsels using a pressure cooker or instant pot. Lentils in less than 15 and black beans in 30. And canned beans work just as well if you don't want to prepare from scratch. Simply rinse them thoroughly to remove as much as 40% of their salt content. You can even give legumes a secret enhancement. Sprouting. Their vitamin C concentration increases when you soak them until they are just beginning to sprout. Minerals like iron and zinc become more bioavailable while anti-nutrients like phytic acid decrease. For an added nutritional boost, you may add sprouted lentils to grain bowls, salads, or wraps. Combining beans with other foods that are good for blood sugar is one of the best ways to use them. You can get fiber, good fats, and antioxidants all at once when you combine chickpeas with spinach, bell peppers, and olive oil. Make the lentil stew with tomatoes and turmeric. You can use curcumin to reduce inflammation and acidity to slow the digestion of starches. The amino acid profile is completed even when black beans are combined with a little amount of brown rice or quinoa, providing you with protein that is comparable to that of animal sources without the glucose surge that comes from the grain alone. Here are some combos that work well for a hectic day if you're a practical person. For a quick, refrigerator-friendly Mediterranean salad, toss together chickpeas, cucumber, tomato, parsley, olive oil, and lemon juice. Add the turmeric, cumin, onions, and carrots to the red lentils and simmer until they are creamy. For a blood sugar-friendly lunch, wrap black beans in shredded cabbage, avocado, and salsa on a low-carb tortilla. Hummus made from blended chickpeas, tahini, lemon, and garlic can be stored in the refrigerator with celery sticks for an easy-to-grab snack. And the statistics doesn't support the notion that all of this is merely health food marketing. People with type 2 diabetes who switched to legumes for at least 8 weeks instead of high GI carbohydrates were the subject of a 2023 meta-analysis published in Frontiers in Nutrition. They saw notable decreases in LDL cholesterol, fasting glucose, and HbA1c across several investigations. When beans were consumed regularly along with low GI veggies, the advantages were significantly greater. There are, of course, myths. There are still some people who think beans are too heavy in carbohydrates to be suitable for diabetics. Yes, they contain carbohydrates, but when those carbohydrates are encased in protein and fiber, your body reacts to them very differently. Others are concerned about bloating or gas. In the near term, it is true, but primarily it is your gut microbiota adapting to the new fiber. If you soak beans thoroughly and increase your intake gradually, your digestion will adjust and your gut ecology will become stronger. Legumes can be considered more than just a side dish. They are a nutritional multi-tool that lowers cholesterol, reduces inflammation, stabilizes sugar, feeds good gut bacteria, and produces slow-burning energy. They are widely accessible, reasonably priced, and adaptable enough to be used in practically any type of cuisine. Legumes are a daily mainstay rather than an occasional garnish in areas with some of the lowest incidences of diabetes and heart disease, such as Okinawa and portions of the Mediterranean. Whether it's half a cup in a salad, a bowl of lentil soup, or a side of black beans, if you try to eat at least one serving every day, you're providing your body with a continuous, reliable source of nutrients that will support your metabolism rather than interfere with it. And after you notice how much more consistent your appetite and energy are, you may question why these common foods aren't the first thing that doctors recommend for people with diabetes.